Sinister is a 2012 supernatural horror film directed by Scott Derrickson. The film follows true crime writer Ellison Oswald as he uncovers a series of mysterious murders tied to a demonic entity. The film stars Ethan Hawke as Ellison, Juliet Raylands as his wife, and James Ransone as Deputy So-and-so. And the film is really cool. It's got some great world building and some really cool jump scares. And I think it is one of the more scary PG-13-esque horror movies that I've seen. Because I'm pretty sure this is rated like a 15 here in the UK, which means it will be in between like an R and like a PG-13 if there was one of those in the US, but there isn't. So, spoilers ahead, and let's get into the video. The film begins with a disturbing Super 8 home video showing a family of 4 beneath a tree hanging with nooses around their necks. A figure then appears and soars through the branch, causing the family to be hung. This image definitely sets the tone for the film because, well, we're gonna see this family a little bit more later. Ellison Oswald is a true crime writer who moves into a new home with his wife Tracy and their 2 children, Ashley and Trevor. I like the name Trevor, I don't know why. Unbeknownst to his family, Ellison has chosen this house because it was the site of the murder from the opening scene. He hopes to use the case as material for his next book, which he believes will revive his waning career. Because pretty much about 10 years ago, he wrote this book called Kentucky Blood, which was really successful, he even got on TV at one point. And since then, he has just been putting out dud after dud, and his wife thinks that he's already had his 15 minutes. While exploring the attic though, Ellison finds a box containing a projector and several reels of Super 8 film. Each reel is labelled with a seemingly innocent title such as Pool Party 66, Barbecue 77, and he's intrigued so he sets up the projector and begins to have a little movie marathon. Ellison is then horrified to discover that each film depicts the murder of an entire family, each in a different gruesome manner, and the films are edited together with a mysterious person in the background, and this person we will learn a lot more about. But ultimately, these films show the family's happy moments right before their brutal deaths. In each video, a mysterious symbol and strange demonic figure can be seen. He watches the first one, he then watches the second one, and he's a bit intrigued, but I'm pretty sure he then just decides, you know what, I'ma go bed. Ellison starts investigating the murders though, and he discovers that they span several decades and locations. He connects a local deputy named So-and-so because he doesn't really say his name, so that's really all they give us in this film. He provides him with additional information about the murders, and the deputy reveals that in each case, one child from the family went missing and was never found. And as Ellison delves deeper into the mystery, strange things begin happening in his house. He hears noises, sees shadowy figures, and experiences terrifying nightmares. Trevor, his son, starts having sleepwalking times where he is I don't know, probably seeing the same stuff that Ellison's seeing, but he's also found in some unusual places. First in a box, then outside, right where the demonic figure was seen a minute earlier. And while Ashley, his daughter, begins to draw disturbing images to the murders, she seems pretty normal so far. So, with his kids and whole family on the line at the moment, Ellison consults a professor of the occult, Professor Jonas, who identifies the mysterious symbols as belonging to Bagul, a pagan deity known as the Eater of Children, which is a bloody sick name. Bagul's goal is to conceal the souls of children, and the images and videos of murders serve as gateways for him to, do that. So, Ellison begins to realise that his family is in grave danger, and despite his growing fear, he is determined to finish the book. However, supernatural activities intensify, and he starts to lose grip on reality. Tracy's really noticing his deteriorating mental state. She urges him to leave the house, but he basically just turns into Jack Torrance and is just like, this is my one chance to, finish this, legacy or something, I don't know. After participating in a terrifying encounter, Ellison decides to destroy the films and the projector. He gathers his family and moves back to their old house, believing that they are now safe. However, upon unpacking, he finds the box with the projector and films in their new attic. Or I guess their old attic, since they moved back to their old house. Which, once again, why would you leave this place? This place is a bloody mansion. He receives a video from Deputy So-and-so, who informs him that each family was murdered And they previously lived in a house where a previous murder took place, so they're screwed, pretty much. Ellison watches the final film, labelled House Painting, and he sees footage of a family being filmed as they sleep, and he discovers missing segments in each film, which reveal that the missing children were the ones who filmed the murders under Bagul's influence, and Ashley, who is now under his influence, drugs him, and Ellison, Tracy, and Trevor then awaken to find themselves bound and gagged. Ashley is holding an axe, but then proceeds to murder her entire family. She uses their blood to paint Bagul's symbol on the wall, and the final scene shows Ashley drawing her little thing in the book with all the other drawings of the murders, and then walking away with Bagul into the film. And this is probably one of the, greatest horror endings in, modern cinema. It's just so cool. The twist in this movie was great, because it's really stylized as sort of a mystery element in this movie. Whereas the sequel, it just flat out tells you, yeah, you know this now. Let's have Bagul in this for the entire movie, even though he's the creepiest part. I mean, speaking of Bagul, bro looks like a Slipknot member. He looks like Mick mixed with a few others. And it's just really cool. This film is a great blend of psychological horror and supernatural horror. It really uses the found footage trope to create a really unsettling narrative. And the films were also actually shot on Super 8, so they look cool. And Scott Derrickson's direction is really, really good. It crafts a great sense of dread throughout the film. It really does use found footage within the movie really well. Each one of them just sort of it's just really creepy. It's got some great sound design as well. The music that they play during these, I'm not sure if I can play because of copyright, but it's just really cool. And Ethan Hawke delivers a great performance as Ellison Oswalt. He really shows a man that's just obsessed with trying to just keep going and just trying to make it. He really captures the desperation of his character. And Juliette Raylands and James Ransell also deliver great performances as Deputy So-and-so and, of course, Hawke's wife. And the cinematography is really, really well done as well. As I said, some of the bits where the found footage parts were filmed on older stuff, so it actually adds the graininess and all of that, which really makes it look cool. And it's just great. As I was saying, the sound design and the score, which were done by Christopher Young, it's so cool. It's really creepy. It's got some really unsettling audio cues. And it definitely excels in the pacing as well. It gradually builds the tension and suspense through, unveiling each home video and their sinister implications. Sinister? Yeah? And each reel reveals more about Bagul and his horrific influence. It draws the audience deeper into the mystery. And the film's ability to just maintain a high level of suspense while sort of drip feeding you little bits of information along the way is really, really well done. Ultimately, Sinister is a standout horror film. It's got a great story, great actors, and great direction. Ethan Hawke, I think this is one of my favourite horror performances of him. Him and Scott Derrickson are a match made in heaven for the horror genre. I did kind of like him in The Purge, but those movies are just a whole little subgenre of their own. Just called Purge, pretty much. It's just random acts of violence. And the really good use of found footage and sound design was great in this film. Every little bit just builds up and up and up, and it's so cool. Ultimately, I think this is a great horror film. I really recommend it. I give it an 8 out of 10. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Have you seen Sinister? What do you think about it?